I was called by Quebec in Canada to write a report on the public health aspect and WHO and the UN on all the fraud. And I did that. It's a 150-page document that, I can show it translated now because it was already in 21. And it was for incriminating the government of Quebec because of the emergency law. So that was one. The other one was the judges of France, because I was one of the first one to start talking of the vaccine and the content. So I had 3 points. It was the death post-vaccine that were already crazy, and that's where research ethics, as soon as you have 50 deaths, you stop the research. It's an experiment, stop it. And I thought, they're not stopping it. They're not stopping. And so I was like, what's going on? And so I was with a group of lawyers who said, can you write something shocking for the judges of France? So I did 25 pages with one. The first one was all the official mortality of hypervigilance. You can find it on the web. Hypervigilance and VAERS, which is for the America. And you could already see 15,000 deaths and more in the virus never seen before. That was September 21. First part was that. The second was that what was the fraud of the vaccine was not justified, and I put all this. And the last part was what is the content that was found and all the hypotheses. This researcher, these engineers find this others find this other find that. Stop, And there was Professor Arnar who had made an autopsy of, and there's the autopsy also, but the autopsy of what is in the vial and what is coming post-mortem. And I showed all that. They distributed to all the judges of France, and nothing happened. And I was like, okay, what's going on? And so there was this report, then the Reiner Füllmich, the audition of Reiner Füllmich. And we were trying to find a way. I was in the group of thinkers, I would say, of the Corona audition at the end. What do we do? And they wanted to do, International Court of Justice. And I had already then, and I said, listen, I don't think this is going to work. Because if WHO is dictating the world and is corrupting the truth and lying, taking a position with Tedros, who is not a medical doctor, and who has been re-elected against his own government, Ethiopia, don't you see it's a world government already? And so if we go to the International Court of Justice or Criminal Court, it's the UN who holds it, it's the Secretary General and the Security Council, 5 countries who have veto. It's Britain, the UK, France, China, Russia, America. 5 countries veto. And so is the same countries making the veto for what they want. So I said, if we go this way, we're going to lose time. It's going to be in their hands. You can do it, but I don't believe in that. They have to find another system. So they found a system of people audition. And so I was in day 1 and day 2 for WHO and violating their own law. So now we can go on to all the violation they did. They're violating the UN, and I'm coming now after 2 years more reflection, but already then they're violating the International Health Regulation because they did not obey the Annex to the fact you cannot validate a PCR test. You cannot just declare an emergency of international concern without having a proof and to make it again and again. And every country, they should have validated it, not just one. The whole one virus, one world, COVID, fantastic, But so they're violating the international health regulation. They're violating their own constitution because the function of WHO, Article 2 in WHO Constitution, is that they are just coordinators. They cannot decide. The country decides for themselves. It's written in their constitution, WHO, in 1 or 2 parts. Then you can go up to the UN. The UN Charter says you cannot take a dictatorship. It is a collaboration of people. And then you have
sovereign nations, right?
Sovereign nations,
yes.
Yeah. And so in the UN Charter, you can go and read it. It's the International Court of Justice who is organizing the disputes.
Yes.
But if the UN Charter is violated, who are you going to go to? And then there is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And the right of expression, the freedom of association, the fact that you can decide for autodetermination of yourself, of your people. Everything has been violated. So this is at the international level, at the WHO level, and then the constitutions of the countries have been violated. Switzerland has violated its own constitution. Freedom of expression, we are censored all the time. I have proof of how they censor. I'm responding to the media all the time now with the Swiss TV. So at every branch. So with the audition of Rainer Füllmich, it was great because it was international. So first day WHO, UN, second day the PCR, and then there were even the autopsy guy, Mr. O'Looney from England, was fantastic. He showed that, in the autopsy, which is the first thing you do in a crime scene, there is plastic, there is polymers, there's nothing to do in there. In the vials, there's nothing to do in there. So the audition Rainer did, Füllmich, is fantastic with Virginie de Rogerecha. So this was another audition. Then I was also I tried many different tribunals because they came to get me. We tried to condemn also WHO and all the pacts they're doing with the animal health, with the UNESCO, with OMPI, with they keep on signing together without us. So we did with it's an international court of common people from Canada for the whole world. They managed to incriminate the Vatican for the whole child abuse they had. So I also did with them, and nothing happened. Then I also did with Finland, with PCR, Miko. So this is pending. I also tried to help Greece, who is one whistleblower. Demetris. He's doing great work, and I gave him all the files, so maybe this can help him. Nobody's moving in the government. So, and even Norway. That's the last I will mention because it's very significant. It's really a case study for what you're saying is happening. So it is the Torting, it is the court of Oslo, and it's just about a nurse being thrown out, lost her job for the wrong reason, and Barbro Paulsen, the lawyer, and Torkel Snelling, the doctor, said, "Astrid, come and witness, please." So there was the head of the hospital witnessed, Torkel Snelling, doctor. He witnessed, and the Minister of Public Health, and then the Minister of Health. So if you take the chain reaction, the doctor said no, there is no reason justifying that she loses her job because there was no reason to to force a consent. Then we go up to the director of the hospital. He said, yeah, there is no reason to do that, but I did not decide. It's the Minister of Health.
One question. So was she refusing to be vaccinated and she was fired from her job?
Yes.
Okay. Please continue.
Yes. So who decides why this was unjustified by the doctor? Then the head of the hospital said, oh, I did not decide. It's the head of public health who decided. The head of public health said, oh, I did not decide. It's the Minister of Health. And the Minister of Health said, it's not me who decided, it's WHO.
Wow.
And that's where I said, wow, what an incredible...
what an incredible shift.
Revelation.
A revelation.
Because it's very easy to see the chain. It's exactly what you said.
Yes.